Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Custom Cap Collectors episode number 9. And the one downside of today's show is that our most active chat participant is in the show, so he won't be giving us comments from the giving us comments. And so we want to welcome to the show the other Matt, Bushel of Awesome Matt, or as I have him here, Matt W. I'm Matt G. When we get to later, we're going to go through and talk about which hats we liked in the crits, and so I used he'll be Awesome Matt on the slides, and I'll be Falconer Matt because those are our Instagram handles. If you're interested, you can. If you don't already follow Bushel of Awesome, you can follow him on Instagram, and he's a Clink lover, and we'll find out a little bit more about him as we move along. We did have a last second change, so Aaron was planning to be with us today, but as folks may or may not know, he is a professional dog trainer, and he said he had a dog crisis to grapple with, and so unfortunately, he had to drop out shortly before we went on air. So his name will still show up on some of the slides, and we may have Jessie hop in and do a little pinch hitting later. She's a school teacher like I am, and so she has something going on tonight. But she said if things get wrapped up, she might hop in and participate. So in the meantime, it's the three of us, and so as always, we've got Glenn below me, and let's stroll through. What's everybody wearing today? Glenn, why don't you go? Show us what you got. What you wearing?
Today I have the Jersey Devil.
Nice.
Very cool. This one, as you know, it's hard to convey how good they are.
Yeah.
On a picture or just on a screen, but this one turned out really well. I was really happy with it. Almost all gray and black with a little dot of red for the eye. Tough to
Almost
see on
fun.
there, but yeah, this one turned out really great. One of my probably the best one that I got from that shipment. Probably my favorite from that shipment from that class.
It reminds me of the Wolf in Sheep's Clothing, which I ordered that one, and that was one I was kind of like, I hope this turns out, and it's fantastic in hand. And when you showed that hat off after we each got our like big shipment from Clink, that went from maybe I should have ordered that to maybe I'll get that on dead stock. So
Yeah, you
I
will
love
not be disappointed.
I love me some cryptids. So, whether it's Nessie, we need a Nessie hat. Like, seriously, how do we not have a Nessie hat already? I don't know. But all right, Matt W., what you got?
So I am currently wearing, I believe the name when it came out was Jolly Rancher, but I think now it's Reindeer Rancher on the site. I'm not 100% sure, but I've been getting in the Christmas mood, getting a lot of my holiday hats out, but I'll probably swap through a couple while we're chatting.
I'm going to guess that they got rid of Jolly Rancher to avoid lawsuits.
I would agree. Yeah, probably so.
All right, and I'm wearing a non-Clink, but I think in the spirit of Clinkdom. So this is one that came in just this last week. This was a Black Friday hat, and this is a pillbox shape, which is very unusual. I only own 2 pillbox hats, and this is a minor league Zephyrs, and based out of New Orleans. And so it has musical notation, so you can follow the sheet music as it goes around. I can't play piano, so I actually don't know what sound that would make. But this just arrived from My Fitted, New Jersey, and it's beautiful. It's a little bit big, as somebody told me it was going to be on one of the websites, but it's kind of it's truly original. It's one of the things that we see again and again with the minor league hats is that many of the folks that design for these minor league teams, they are, in fact, people who work for Clink and maybe work for Brandiose. And I'll just toss this out. There's a couple hours left, but the MILB.com has 25% off all of their themed hats and gear tonight through, I think, midnight. So if you are someone who enjoys some of the fun, logos and stuff that we get from our, our former clinkers or current clinkers who also do work for minor league teams, you can check that sale out. I picked up a couple. There are a couple minor league hats that just absolutely grabbed me this year, and so that's something you can check it out. All right, so let's go to our next slide, and I'm going to make this big for a second. And so, I reached out to the other folks when Leon sort of stepped back from doing his show and Sundays, and he had a sort of impromptu episode this Sunday where he did an unboxing. And one of the things that he showed off is that he got the pencil shaving Klink hat with a custom done by Casey. And if you're not familiar, one of the things that Canadians phrase that Canadians are using right now is they are dealing with their economy being buffeted by the United States, putting tariffs on their goods. This elbows out is their catchphrase, and that's a hockey term. You go into the corner and you got your elbows up. If somebody gets too close to you, you're going to elbow them in the head. So it's a kind of a like back off, man. Elbows up. You go in the hockey corner with your elbow up. That's like telling the other person, you come within range, I'm going to give you a nice little smack. And so Casey did an elbows up Kong specifically for Leon and sent it to him up in Canada. So not only did he get, unique art, but he got something that really, sort of tied with his Canadian identity. So Leon showed it off, and he mentioned, and I didn't know about this. He mentioned that this apparently is going to be a thing. So the VIP drop just went live now, and it's not something that's being offered. There's some dead stock hats that are available right now for VIPs, and then tomorrow at this time they'll be available for all Klink customers. I'm wondering if there's going to be another live stream, maybe before Christmas, that they're going to announce, and maybe they'll do another one of these, limited opportunity purchase, and you get some custom underbrim art. One of the things I loved about getting my piece, which is right here, is that I hadn't bought the Klink fifth anniversary hat, and so getting it with the custom one of a kind art was very exciting for me. And if they do it for the pencil shavings, I'm going to be sorely tempted because I didn't buy that hat either. But when I saw other people's hats of the pencil shavings, I was like, ooh, that looks really good in hand. So Klink fans, keep your ears peeled. Watch the the Instagram feed coming from Klink Room. There may be another live stream or some kind of opportunity. Leon didn't give us any details. He just said something like it's going to happen soon. So there's some of our Klink news. And let's hear a little bit now. Let me switch up this window. So Matt has a hat that's already gone out, and originally Adam has one that just went to the shop. I was going to have both of them talk about a little bit about their perspectives as collectors who became co-designers. Oh, hey, oh! Breaking news! We have a fourth member. Hello, Jesse.
So, Jess,
let's you ready to talk about what you're wearing?
Oh,
we just went around and showed off what we're wearing.
Oh gosh, hi, hello. Hot off the recording studio for lectures about natural selection. So this is from a recent dead stock drop. I love this. I'm not going to say it right because it's Welsh, but it's Mary Lwyd, I believe, something like that. The Welsh, they do crazy things with consonants and vowels, but it's basically a dead horse on a stick. Well, it's just the skull on a stick, and it's something that you do. It's wassailing or hogmanay. It's from Christmas to what is it, 12th night, because there's 12 days of Christmas. And yeah, so people go door to door and basically carols and singing, and I'm sure there's drinking. And this is just hilarious and wonderful and weird and delightful. And yeah, I thought I'd definitely wear this tonight. So Merry Christmas. Happy Dead Horse on a Stick Day.
Glenn, did you want Otter Destruction? Because size 8 is already gone.
Is it?
And 7/8.
Shut up.
Gone, yes. It's possible they weren't even available. I didn't click on it.
Yeah.
Somebody went to the shop and had already bought it.
Yeah, they may not have had any.
Let's you know what? Let me do this for a second. Since other people might have an interest in this, let's share the shop screen. All right, so we're giving you a sneak peek. Let's take a look at what is already hot. The 7/8 in revealed is gone.
Oh, what happened to me?
You didn't make the cut.
I didn't make the cut.
You're oh, it only okay. Hang on a
It's
second.
fine. It's okay. I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. Let's go back to so the Point Exco looks like all sizes are still there, and the two biggest sizes here for Otter have already sold out.
That one's really clean in hand. Auto Destruction is one of my faves out of that recent group.
I actually thought that I had pre-ordered that, and when everybody else got theirs, I went back through my pre-orders, and I'm like, you know what? I actually didn't order it, and I was upset at myself. I like
have-
the box.
I have Fearless and Revealed, and they're both excellent.
Look at
They're
that.
both
4 of the Kid Kongs have already sold out. I would not have guessed that particular hat. I'm just
It
Oh.
could have been that there just weren't, like, depending on how many sizes that they ordered, it could have just been that there weren't a lot available too. You never know.
Jesse, if you wanted this girly snarling dog hat, you better get in there and get that set.
The depth of Fearless, like Glenn was saying, the depth of the embroidery on Fearless is fantastic.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's like the mouth is all the way flat against the crown, but the rest of the dog is like, I don't know, almost a quarter inch out from the crown. It's great.
Oh,
Do
is
you
this
have-
the one you were showing us a couple weeks ago, Glenn?
yeah.
That one, though, it is. The embroidery on that one is really, really nice, but not a girl hat.
If either one of you have it handy, if you want to grab it, I'll put you up on.
you.
All right.
I was gonna say Glenn will beat me to it.
Let's while he's doing that, let's have you talk a little bit about your what was it like being a co-designer
Sure.
on
So
Slow-
yeah, so I had already been kind of like chatting with Heather here and there about designs she'd already done or designs that, you know, she may want to do in the future. And we get to talking about animals because I'm super passionate about animals. And I said, you know, I've never seen a sloth design go through. I know we had a few submitted, and there was even one that had a similar name to this, which I didn't realize till after. But it had been, you know, a few years since they were submitted. Anyway, kind of talking about how can we make a sloth hat that kind of appeals to more of a mass group instead of just like an animal nerd like myself. So I was like, well, kind of taking little pieces here and there from pop culture. So like, you know, Zootopia has those really slow moving sloths that are really funny. And I love music too. I have to be listening to music to get through my day. Definitely helps cope with my attention stuff. But I thought, man, a sloth, what would a sloth like to listen to? It would either be something really, really fast, because that would be ironic, or they would listen to something slow jams. So I was like, okay, well, there's the name, right? So let's make it into something where the sloth is just like grooving and into it, and that's how the sloth gets through its day, right? So we kind of got to talking about, you know, how would this design look? Would the sloth be like hanging from the neck of a guitar? Would it be just chilling, like, you know, listen to music? And figured that just chilling, listen to music was the way to go. Hey, that's a nice hat. The embroidery, I will say, I was super happy with the way the embroidery turned out on that too. It was super chunky, and I'm glad the details of the fur came out too. And at first, I'll be honest, I was apprehensive of the all blue, but I see the vision now that it's in hand and how good it is. But yeah, it's definitely like a surreal moment to have something that you had a hand in finally become physical and be tangible. I felt like I waited like, a year for it to finally show up, and every time it got delayed, it's like, "Oh man, okay, well, I'll just keep being patient." But
Was it,
no,
when
I'm
you say delayed, like just the date would get pushed back on the website, or did you hear from them that like, oh, there's been a delay in the shipment or something?
no, it's just, it's one of those things where you're like periodically checking every couple weeks. Did anything update? Did the sample get approved? Is it in post production, whatever, so that it can, move on to being shipped. And was looking every time they would do a sneak preview of the warehouse. I was like, can I see it in the background? You know,
I
but
believe it.
yeah, but it was worth the wait for me. And I was lucky to have a lot of supportive folks that picked it up and have really praised the design. So, super thankful to Heather for helping me bring that to life, and for Casey and the team embracing it, because I feel like from the feedback that I've gotten from Casey since then, he really seemed to enjoy the design. So that was definitely a nice plus.
I want to throw to Jesse here for a comment. Would this fall into the category of a girl attracting hat?
It would, and it's one of those where I thought it was cute in the pre-order, but I just thought I don't know if I'm going to wear this. And now that I've seen people have it, I'm like, oh, I should have gotten it. So I hope I'll get it on dead stock because it is very cute, but in a real manly sort of way, right?
No, it's hey, cute is fine.
Hey,
I think the little pup I've got on my head is plenty cute. Another Heather and Adam collab, actually. Yeah.
I mean, one of the thing about Clink is that not every customer wants the same hat. I mean, like in our private chat, I am tired of Reapers and Skeletons, and to some degree Kongs, although I've come to love the Kong after initially not liking the Kong. But I kind of roll my eyes like, oh great, another Reaper. Oh, that's awesome. But there's clearly a market for Reapers. I'm weary of them, but other people are buying them and love them. And there's room for cute hats. There's room for scary hats. There's all kinds of. Clink only makes 6 hats a week. In a perfect world, they make at least one hat for each segment of their customer base. So like they might have a cute hat and a scary hat and an animal hat and a whatever the case may be, a sports hat. So like if they offered 6 hats that you loved in a week, most people can't afford to go out and buy 6 hats anyway. So it makes sense for them to kind of space out the ones that are really going to hit with a certain subset of the marketplace. So for me, I was a little on the fence for this one. This was not one where I was like absolutely 100% yes, but I did pre-order for 2 reasons. One, I had been chatting with Heather and just talking about her working as an artist, and then blue is my favorite color. And there were 2 things I loved about this. One is an animal that hadn't been done before, because I have almost a whole row of bear hats in my collection. And I have a bunch of tigers because I'm a Detroit Tigers, but tigers and leopards and, this kind of stuff. And seeing an animal that I don't have was very enticing to me to have something. But just the shades of the blue in it, it was always been my favorite color growing up. And Matt, as you mentioned, the sun, basically it's kind of monochrome in shades of blue, and it's just really beautiful. The colors are so complementary. And during COVID, my husband got me a book on color theory. And so as a Lego artist, I can't mix colors the way that painters can mix paint, but I can think about colors that are near each other or juxtaposed to each other. And I wanted to get better at my use of color in my Lego art. And I read through these color theory books, and there's a whole bunch of stuff about mixing your colors, which I can't use. But one of the things these books really drove home is either using opposite sides of the color wheel or right next to each other, the complementary colors or the balancing colors, and how either one of those choices can be very powerful and very pleasing to the eye. And this is a great example of complementary colors, all in the range of the blue. Just like the hat that Glenn showed, it's all monochrome. It's black and white. It's either very dark or very light, and complement gradations can be a very, very effective choice. Now, when you were talking with Heather, and then you were maybe talking with Casey, did you did you lobby for some other colors, or were you kind of like, okay, I guess, we can do it all in blue?
So, the original design was, I was a big proponent of like earth tones, doing the sloth in a natural like brown, and then
Okay.
I wanted like a tree green crown and a brown or tan brim, and then a complementary UV. And that's what we submitted. That's what we went for. That's what got voted in. And then once Friday came around and it ended up in the shop, it was all blue, right? And at first, like I said, I was a little put off, but it's still a great design, and the way that they use the blues to like show the light and shadow, and it almost has like a, pardon the pun for the color, but like a bluesy feel too, right?
Yes.
Like kind of sitting in the dark, just like listening to your music and just like chilling. And when I started thinking about it that way, instead of being like, well, that's not what the animal would look like, I expanded my mind a little bit and was much more open to the vision, like I said, and I definitely am appreciative that they took a chance on it in general, but also like put a spin on it that was such a good move in the terms of how well it complemented the way that the design was put together.
I'm looking back through your Instagram, and I was trying to find the original artwork, but I don't see the version. Maybe it's in Heather's.
I don't. Yeah, it'll be in Heather's, or it'll be on my personal page, because I switched to having a hat centric page a little while ago, as I started getting more involved with the community, just to kind of segregate the personal life and the
Yeah.
and the hat world. But yeah, it might be on my other page, but it'll definitely be on Heather's.
It'll just be a year ago.
Yeah, I think it was from March. I think that's when we submitted it, maybe
I
somewhere
agree.
around there.
Well,
Ed
the other
Hull.
thing-
Ed
the other-
Hull.
You go.
Ed Hull said, "I'd like to see the original colorway come back as a fresh colorway."
Oh.
I said, "Me too," because I really liked the original colorway that you guys put together. It was great.
Yeah, thank you. I would love to see it come back as a fresh colorway, or something. That would be really cool. It just to give it another shot, another life would be awesome.
I found it. All right, give me a second here, and go to share. Well, the other thing I was going to say about the change to blue is that the image itself is not hyper literal. It is kind of cartoony, and so one of the things when you're going into kind of a cartoony vibe is you can play with color. I mean, the Disney characters that are animals, they're not always literally the correct color that you'll find them in nature. Sometimes they play a little fast and loose with color. So there's the original with the green base and the brown tones. And I have to say, I think I like the blue better personally, but I'll just say I'm very happy with the blue.
I'm happy with the blue too. I'm throwing no shade at the blue. I just was very partial to the original, with the time and effort that that Heather put into it, and that I was able to contribute where I could. And most of this has been my only design that's gone through, but most of the designs that I've tried to pitch or work with artists on, they've been animal themed. And I like the idea of staying true-ish to the animal, right? But I also am much more open now to the idea of being creative with it and putting a spin on it, because I think that there's definitely something to be shown, something to be said for the way that a lot of artists have done it with stuff like like Catalina Bison, for example. And I just happened to pull this. So this was my first one ever. This was my first pre-order, and while the bison is a traditional like bison color, close to, it's a bison laying on the beach. So it's definitely not something that is happening in real life, but it's the colors just work. Everything works together in this design. And in the fresh color that was done of this one. I love the fresh colorway of this one too. But I really think that being able to take what could be seen in nature and put a creative spin on it now is just such a cool way to do it.
And everybody knows that bison don't really wear pink swim trunks, right? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, you never know. We don't know what bison do when we're not around. It's like when a tree falls in the forest.
Very confident bison, and it's
well,
And I feel you, Matt, on the waiting game, because me and Heather's, we're still waiting on it. It closed, pre-orders closed on April 20th of last year, and ours has been pushed back. Like you said, I've been checking and checking, and it was going to come out in, I think, originally September, and then it got pushed to October, then it got pushed to November. No. Then it got pushed to February. Now last time I looked, it was February.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
what was the original release date supposed to be again?
On mine?
Yeah.
I believe it was September. It was either September or October, because I ordered an extra one for my nephew, and his birthday's in October, and I was excited because originally it was going to make it in time for his birthday.
So basically, clink hats are like home repairs. Add 6 months. All right. Well, I'm sure that you'll have some other, maybe give us some flavor as we move forward. Let's move forward and take a look at some of the hats that are up to today. And sorry, a little bit more about getting to know Matt. So I pulled this from your hat related Instagram, and so it looks like there were 3 different Metallica shirts in there. So is it safe to say like you're a big fan?
Yeah, big Metallica fan. Went to go see them when they came to Charlotte this year. It was my wife's bucket list show, so we, went all out, went to go see them, and it was a phenomenal time. And had to get as many shirts as I could. If they would have had a fitted for Metallica, I would have picked it up, but they didn't. So
Have you seen? There's a New York Yankees hat that has the lightning bolts coming down on the right and the left. Have you seen that style? Obviously it's a nod to Metallica.
Yeah. If I was a Yankees fan, I would have picked it up.
I was at the Atlanta show of that tour.
Yeah, they just do a great job. They put on a heck of a show, man. It was
like our
good.
4th time seeing them, I think.
Oh wow. Yeah,
For me, it was when
our
the police reunited in 2005, and that was a band that broke up before I was old enough to even get into their music. And so I had all their albums. And so when they did the tour, they came and played Bonnaroo, which is outside of Nashville. And the demographics of Bonnaroo are a whole generation younger than me. So I was very familiar with the Police, but most of the kids were not. And the Police were playing just Police shows, right? So like everybody there paid a lot of money to go see the Police, and they knew, all their albums and their songs, and they're like big Police fans. So they come out and they played like the big stage. It's like the headline act. And at one point they're playing, don't stand so close to me, and some of their like big hits, and like and Sting's like, you can sing along, and he's like, sing along. And I turn to my buddy and I'm like, the crowd doesn't know the words. We know the words, but these young people, they don't know the words of these songs. And Sting's not used to playing to an audience that doesn't know his music. And it was interesting. I suddenly felt old. And then in the background, I think this was Grandfather Mountain.
Yes. Yeah, that's Grandfather Mountain. It's the mile-high swinging bridge on top of Grandfather Mountain. There's the bridge you can walk across. That's really cool. That's the bridge is 5,280 feet above sea level, it's not actually a mile off of the ground. It's only about probably 100 feet off of the bottom of the canyon there, um, but the mountain itself is really pretty all times of the year. Even they're getting snow right now, but even right now it's beautiful up there. And my wife and I go up there a few times a year. I went to school probably 30 minutes away from Grandfather Mountain at Appalachian State, so
That's a
we
cool
spend a lot
town.
of time in the mountains.
We
Yeah,
we stopped and had lunch there once. And did you ever go up to Roan Mountain State Park on the Tennessee North Carolina border?
yes, yeah, just once though.
They have some great cabins. If anybody's on the show and they're looking for a little weekend getaway, go rent a cabin. They have like family size cabins with 2 bedrooms and a full kitchen. There's no internet though. So like I took a Lego set because otherwise I would have been very bored because you can't get on your phone. There's no Wi-Fi. So like you have to read a book or talk to people or build Lego. But there's just some fantastic hiking. If you go up there and go up to Carver's Gap, which is where the AT crosses basically right along the border between the 2 states, and you hike north, you come up to a spot that's called the Bald, and you can see the Appalachian Mountains, 360-degree view with no trees. Amazing. Go check it out sometime. If you're a listener and you're anywhere in the neighborhood, go up there to Carver Gap, and it's only like a 30-45 minute hike north, and you get this fantastic view. So
That's cool.
I'm a big fan of travel and outdoors, and so Grandfather Mountain's a cool place. There's a whole bunch. If you go to Asheville, you can go to all the craft stores there at we went up in October for the craft Southern Highlands Craft Guild, where you've got people who make rocking chairs and pictures out of dryer lint. I'm not kidding, but it was actually really impressive. Go check it out sometime. But you were telling us before we got on that you currently live in North Carolina, but you've been all over. But I think you have some long roots in Texas. Was that correct? Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah, so most of my family's in Texas, North Texas. So spent a good amount of time there. Before I ever collected clink hats, I collected Texas Rangers baseball hats from when I was, very small. I think it was my great grandmother got me my first Texas Rangers hat way, way, way back in the day. And I've always loved collecting hats, but definitely got into collecting Rangers fitteds.
Did you get the Titas hat?
No, I didn't. I conscientiously avoided that one. I was like, no, I'll because
Well, as a game fan, I wish I had bought one just for collector's reasons, but
yeah,
it's extremely rare now.
Well, now there's people faking them all over the place. I see.
Is that right?
But, yeah, because it's a gag now.
Oh yeah. So let me ask you this: So you're a Rangers fan. What was the first couple hats that got out of? You weren't buying them just because you were the fan of a team, where you bought a hat just because you thought it was an attractive thing. Like, do you remember? Was there a particular one, or was there a moment in time where you went,
So hats used to be my go-to souvenir when I was like traveling or something.
Got it.
And I remember it got really out of hand because I went to Mexico when I was in high school and I came home with a velvet sombrero. And I couldn't fit it in a suitcase, so I had to fly on the plane wearing a blue bedazzled velvet sombrero for my trip to Mexico.
You're my hero. You're my hero.
Yeah, no shame on that airplane ride. But yeah, so that it was my go-to. My souvenir was a hat. And then during COVID, I was furloughed from Disney for about 4 months, and I was like, what can I do to keep myself busy? And then I decided that I was going to try to wear a different hat for my collection every day, which my collection wasn't very big at the time. It was big-ish, but I mean, I know you have enough hats Matt, to go like what, 3 years without repeating?
Yes.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah. So it wasn't nearly that big, but I was trying to do, I was a Dixon flannel collector at the time too. So I was doing a Dixon flannel and a hat every day. If I could go without repeating them, that was like my goal. And I was in Florida, so wearing flannels in the middle of spring and summer when I was furloughed was not a smart idea, but I was doing it just for grins, and I was trying to do like just something to keep myself busy. So I started searching and searching for more and more and more unique hats that I could find. Etsy, Mercari, Poshmark, like looking for all these unique hats that I could get myself into. And then I stumbled upon Clink, and it was right when everything kind of slowed down. So I had pre-ordered Catalina Bison and Sonole Soul. Those were my first two pre-orders from Clink. And it took over a year for him to show up. But as I started to like see more and more on the site, I think I found the Facebook group. And then I moved from Florida to North Carolina in the middle of the pandemic. And so that was like a community I could really sink my teeth into, was the hat community, and really like try to find stuff that I could buy secondhand or stuff on eBay or whatever. And so just really digging into that group, and then I found other companies like Noble North has been another great company to collect from. I have some Capologist. I have trying to think what else. I have a few. I still have a smaller collection of Texas Rangers hats. Still have some other hats that are just like favorite themes. Like I have a one of the ones I got during the pandemic, which is one of my favorites, was a Jurassic Park ball cap that's got like the velvet brim, and it looks like the ones that the Jeep drivers wore in the original Jurassic Park. Really liked that one. So, but just niche things like that. So yeah, I try to find the cool, unique stuff, and that's what drew me to Clink, and I've been stuck ever since. And it's an addiction.
I would say one of the things that happened during the pandemic for myself, and I don't know about Jesse, but I taught 100% online for a year. And that's partly because I'm diabetic, and so I was at a higher health risk. And so I kept teaching online when some of the other faculty went back. But it's one of the reasons I started doing Lego chats. And if I hadn't done Lego chats, I probably wouldn't even thought about doing a Clink chat. And so those online communities, I mean, I still do 2 Lego chats a week, and one of them's with a good friend in Canada. And I know more about what's happening in his life, and he lives 2 hours north of Toronto, than I do what's going on with my next door neighbor. And so one of the fascinating things about modern technology and the pandemic is what I call distant friends. I have distant friends through the Clink and hat community. Jesse and Glenn and Aaron and Adam and I send little messages virtually every day. I know it snowed where Jesse lives because we're chatting about that kind of stuff. And so I have now friends all over the country between Lego and hats. And it's one of the, I think, good things that came about through that experience, where especially those of us who are like not going into a physical job, we still want to, if you're extroverts, you still want to talk to people, or even if you're introverts, you might want to talk to some people. So, that's some of the upsides. Is it got us into maybe some hobbies that we wouldn't have gotten into, or made friends that we wouldn't have made friends otherwise. So we're happy to have you as one of our friends. So
thank you. I'm very happy to be here. And yeah, this community has been great. I've definitely found people that, I've bonded with and been talking to for a good long time now. And it's people that, if it were real life, we would have never gotten the opportunity to connect because we're thousands of miles away. But through this, like you said, you get to know more about these people than you do the people that live right next to you, or the people that you sit next to at work, or whatever. And it's just really cool that something like a passion like this can connect people. So yeah.
Well, let's take a look at today's crits. And obviously, Adam's not here. And so because there's 2 Matts on the slides, I called them Falconer Matt and Awesome Matt. And Animal Adam, but Animal Adam is not with us. And Jesse is pinch hitting. So Jesse, anytime you want to jump in and talk about any of the hats, just wave or jump in. I don't know which hats you would have nominated. So, as is. So let's go to the first one. And Animal Adam's not here, so I'll go up on this one. I absolutely adored Branch Manager. One of the things that I do at night, if I'm having trouble letting go of the news and the cares of the day, is I'll watch reels of animals being hilarious, cats and dog videos. And They help to break my, my focus on things I need to let go of to go to sleep. And, there's some awesome, hilarious reels of like, one or two dogs like carrying this enormous branch. Or I saw one where this like dog's like swimming through a lake and it's got this huge branch in its mouth. And then of course the little word pun with branch manager. One of the things I like about this hat in particular is I love the color contrast between the yellows of the dog with the sort of walnut color of the cap, and I love that touch of green on that one end of the stick to lets us know that this is an old dried out piece of wood, but this is probably a more recent piece of wood that's broken off. Any other comments on this one?
I liked it. It was one that I first saw when his name is escaping me, but when he posted it in the BST group asking for feedback. And you don't see that a lot with newer artists or seasoned artists. And I guess if you're a seasoned artist, maybe you don't need the feedback, but especially somebody that you don't see submitting, it was really nice. It was kind of refreshing to get the voice before, like the voice of the community before something goes to crits, right? Or suggestions or help, and I think the design is really well done. I think the color changes in the dog fur will add a good amount of depth when it's embroidered. And
Yeah.
I think the simplicity makes it even better for the style that he's trying to convey, right? You're not trying to do too many details, too many lines. The colors are going to speak for themselves in the embroidery, and the design is pretty universal in terms of appealing to just about everybody.
For me, there's the 10-foot thing. I can wear this. I wear hats when I teach, and I can wear this, and the kid in the back of the room is going to know what's on the hat, right? So you can see it. It's clear. I love the fact that there's that black outline around the edges. I think it just gives it that little bit of definition. All right, let's talk about Take a Hike, which was picked by the other Matt, or Matt. Awesome, Matt. Awesome, Matt. What did you love about this one?
So I love the first one of this series that Flanagan did. And again, being in nature and being an animal lover, like I think this encompassed two really good themes that are easy to bring together. And something that I kind of think about with a lot of the designs that you see, right, is how they would translate as a tattoo. I kind of like to think about a lot of the art styles that way, and something like this, it would be a really interesting tattoo for celebrating either an activity that you enjoy doing with your partner and your animal, or a memorial, or a myriad of things to go along with this design. But I just really like the vibe, right? It's just about like getting out and being in the moment with the people and the animals that you care about. That's what I feel about this. That's the emotion that it invokes in me. And I feel that way about the first one too. The why is the name escaping me? You know which one I'm talking about. The blue one.
Pause.
Thank you. Just Pause. Yes. Thank you. Yeah, I that invoked similar emotion too. Getting out and being in nature with your buddy, with your pet. And yeah, and I really like this continuance of the series, and I hope he keeps something like this going. I really like Flanagan's style too.
Any other panelists want to comment?
Sure. Do you want to comment, Jesse?
No,
Okay.
it's lovely.
I really like Branch Manager. I was saying that I'm not familiar with that artist. I don't know if he's brand new or what, but I really like this piece of art, and it's good to see some refreshing new faces and new names out there. Um, the dog itself is drawn really well. Um, I like what you said, awesome, Matt, about the highlights and the fur and everything, adding depth. You're definitely right about that. But I did want to say that it's confirmed that there was a contract for Take a Hike.
Oh, okay.
So
Awesome.
you
News, ladies and gentlemen.
you will be seeing that one again.
Nice, nice. I hope the color palette stays similar to what they've submitted.
Yeah, that part you never know, so stay tuned.
Yeah.
I did want to update that I put the hats that are on tonight's VIP in, and I put 3 in the shopping cart, and the discount is applying already tonight. So
Oh, okay.
if anybody
Nice.
is a VIP and they want to get 3 dead stock hats, that's a possibility. I will also say that the Kong on the bike is mostly sold out. There are only 4 sizes left. It has
Wow.
flown out the door. I have to say I'm a little surprised because it's not at the top of my list, but obviously there's a customer for that design. So.
It's a Kong, you know. Kongs are
Kong
hot.
still.
I
Well,
was gonna say I feel like Kongs are hot all the time.
and it's a nostalgia hat. So if you were one of those kids,
Yeah, big
like,
wheel.
tricycle, it's a callback to your innocent days where you're out there like run around in the driveway maybe or something. So.
One of my brother's friends got an adult-sized big wheels.
Are you serious?
That's
That's
hilarious.
That's so cool.
Gunning. Jesse has that hat that you were talking about earlier, the Cali Represent. You wanted to see what it
Oh.
looked like?
Oh yeah, sure.
You pull it back out. Hang on.
Oh yeah, I thought I saw you pop that on a minute ago.
Don't look at my bangs. They're bad. Here we go.
So is the embroidery like it looks like it really stands out? Is that correct?
Metallic gold. It is pretty. Yeah, this is just beautiful. I don't think it was even obvious, in the pre-order that it was going to have that gold. I just thought, well, I love that poppy. It's a nice design. It's really beautifully done. But that gold, of course, I'm basically a Corvid. So if you put sparkles on it, I'm probably
It looks like it's very thick too. Is it like
yeah.
1/8 of an inch thick?
Yeah, there's some nice dimensionality to it for sure.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good girl
I feel
hat.
I feel like they've really come a long way with the dimension that we're getting in a lot
doubt.
of these designs.
What's
No doubt.
interesting to me is I'm starting to see that bleed over into some sports hats. I
Yes.
recently got a sports hat where part of it was like clink thick, like it was
Mhm.
that much. It stood out from the crown, and I'm wondering if New Era is learning from the Clink hats, or if other hat manufacturers are seeing what Clink is doing and going, "We want that," because it certainly seems to me that I only saw that kind of thickness in Clink hats. It seems like it's starting to migrate into some other sports hats that are out there. So we'll have to
You know,
keep an eye, see if that.
Clink's got to set the tone. You know.
Well, they're very experienced. And one thing that Leon did say on one, I can't remember if it was on his unboxing or I went back and watched an older video, and he was saying that because Brandy Oyce has worked with New Era for years, that Casey has pull with them. He can call them up and say like, no, I don't want it like this. I want it like this. And Leon was saying that with his hat company, Capologist, that he has no pull whatsoever. Like New Era would be like, yeah, well, if you don't like it, we'll get around to it. And he's like, 6 months go by and I don't hear anything back from New Era. But Casey doesn't have to wait 6 months. So when people do complain that, Clink doesn't get what it wants out of New Era, according to someone who's in the industry, Clink is much better at getting what they want out of New Era than most other custom hat manufacturers. So, that's a point of comparison. All right, well, let's go to the next one. So we've got Weapon of Choice by 14.8, which I nominated, and then we've got Plaid which was nominated by Awesome Matt. And so, which reminds me, I wanted to ask you, what's the origin of your Instagram handle? So where did Bushel of Awesome? Is that like an in joke with your friends, and now you're like, oh, I'm stuck with it, or where did that come from?
No, so like the early 2000s, around the time that like Jackass and stuff was really popular, Travis Pastrana, the action sports athlete, and his friends would also get together and like make videos doing crazy stunts.
Okay.
And there's a guy who goes by the nickname Street Bike Tommy.
Okay.
And in one of the skits or something, he walks up and he goes, "Somebody ordered a bushel of awesome and I'm here to deliver." And then he goes and backflips a motorcycle or something. And that just stuck. I thought it was hilarious. And so, yeah, I'm bringing a bushel of awesome wherever I go.
I had a guy that played on one of my hockey teams who was a student at Georgia Tech, and his email handle was obviously a student email handle. It was something like "back in rehab" was his handle. And I'm thinking, when he goes in the job market, he's going to need a different personal email address. That's fine when you're like in college, but nobody wants to hire someone whose email is "back in rehab" or something. And he did drink a lot, so maybe it was not an exaggeration. So why don't you give us some awesome here about what you liked about the plaid?
Sure. So, I mean, I'm a big buffalo check person. I like the pattern. And while this is a bison, I'll throw one out there for our buddy Adam, who's not here. It's still a really cool concept to put those together. And I had commented on this when Levi and Wynn posted it, that all it needs is a plaid UV. It needs to have a plaid UV, which
that
I've
would
seen
be awesome.
New Era's been doing plaid UVs for their Christmas hats that I've seen already. So it's possible.
I have a
They
Red
can
Wings
do
hat
it.
that's a plaid brim.
So I think either plaid all the way around or just plaid underneath, and that would like super tie this together. Even if they could do a plaid button, that would be sick. But or just a red button, maybe even. But I thought this was just a really cool pun, and I would love to see. I have quite a few bison hats. I think I've got almost every bison one that Clink has put out. And I really like the concept to put it together. So I hope this one gets a shot. I think it would be really cool. And I think there's a lot of stuff they could do to play with it. You could get fresh colorways out of it really easily. So yeah, I think it's fun.
The follow-up would be like what, green and yellow would be like tartan. But you
could do other animals. It'd be cool. You could do it. Hey, you could do a Scottish Nessie and do that in a tartan.
That's it.
You know?
You and I can collab.
All right, we'll make it happen. We'll get a Nessie hat going with a tartan.
All right. Well, I'll do weapon of choice. So one of the things that I think it's either Glenn says or Aaron says, is that 14.8 hats always will stitch well, and this did not do well in the voting. I don't know why it says 80. I think I was supposed to type 28%. It was got something like 28%. It did not get 80% of the vote. That's a typo on my part, but I think this would pop. It would look great from 10 feet away. I would buy this hat if it went in the shop. So I was sad when I saw it did as poorly in the voting as it did, because I think 14.8 hats are always going to stitch well. They always have kind of bold lines, nice color definition, nice color contrast, things that I personally value as a hat purchaser. So much sadness that it did not vote better. Comments? Glenn, Jesse, any thoughts? Well, we can go to the next. That's fine.
Next, roll them.
Yeah. Well, oh, this is the Adam rant. So we'll save this for a future show. So I
You
made
didn't use
this
my
slide.
photo, Matthew.
What?
I generated a quality photo for you.
You did. Yes, you did. All right. So we've got, and so Glenn, your handle is Agreeable Glenn. So we had Animal Adam.
I have
Uh,
to say, I really liked that Treasures. Like, it's such a pretty, like, sea foamy, like, you've got the sand. Like, this is a really nice combination of color and concept. And that only got 23%. I'm amazed. Like, it's so beachy and beautiful. Like, it's a great vacation hat if you like the beach. I like the idea of the beach. Um,
the only thing I thought was like maybe make it more sand color behind it. Maybe a little bit of a more yellow tones in there. What do you think?
oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Yellow, not
I mean, it
yellow.
just depends on the beach,
Oh,
right? Like there are
and
pink beaches and black beaches. Like it depends on the mineral content. And so
fair.
I don't know. I don't know what would have made it do better because there's little pieces of glass. I mean, it's just really lovely.
I
I
love
would
the
have.
I
realism of it. I just worry that I worried about how it would translate
Mm.
into embroidery because it's super mono. That big circle is super monochromatic, and I'm sure there's a way to get depth out of it and bring it, off the crown. I just wasn't sure. But sometimes you just got to trust the process and like let it roll because I'm sure it would turn out beautiful.
I
it's
can imagine the sand dollar being so thick that it actually looks like it's like resting on the surface of the hat. They could do that 3D aspect to the sand dollar portion of it.
That's
But
true. Yeah.
it's beautiful. I talked to Flanagan, um, and two of his I would have bought. This was one of them that I would have bought if they hit the shop. Um, I'm not so much a beach person per se. I like the beach itself, but my wife and I, we like to go cruising is our choice of vacationing, and it would be a beautiful cruise hat. Um, and I told Flanagan it's a shame it didn't get a contract because it's gorgeous.
my husband and I we went down and stayed in Cumberland Island, which is one of the coastal islands on Georgia. But it's right down by the border with Florida, so you have to take a little boat. It's part of the National Park Service, and it's a wilderness area. And so we backpacked our tent and we hiked 2 hours north to a designated park camping area. There's only like 7 campsites and there was almost nobody there. So we set up our tent and we went out and you have to where your tent is, there's all the tropical vegetation. Then you walk out to the beach and we walk out to the beach and we turn to the north, not a person in sight. And we turn to the south, not a person in sight. And I was like, I want to come out here at low tide because I want to do some beach combing because I love walking along the beach, looking for shells, looking for stuff. And this hat, just looking at this hat takes me back to that moment. It was just a fantastic little trip. And I love walking along the beach. I'm not much of a lay on the beach and get, sunburnt, but I am a like, let's walk around and see the critters and stuff like that. And so on our way back, we're hiking through this tropical area. It felt very, Pirates of the Caribbean. And apparently we were quiet enough that we walked right up on an armadillo and we spooked it and it jumped straight in the air and then it landed and it took off through the underbrush. And we were almost as scared as the armadillo because we didn't know it was there either. We both scared each other apparently, but it was very entertaining. So, that's another, I don't think we've ever have we had an armadillo hat? Um,
I feel like I've seen them in crits once or twice.
I think so too, but I don't know if any have gotten to the shop. So
I don't remember.
Hmm.
yeah. So but Glenn, you picked Coastal. What'd you like about Coastal?
I love the colors, the orange and the baby blue. I love a good pelican hat, and this one's good. It has a vacationy feel to it as well, like Treasures, but in a different vein, as Treasures, but still a beautiful hat. Um, Raphael with his birds, you know he's the king of birds. He makes a beautiful bird hat. Um, I don't know did this one vote 38%?
It did. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Hopefully you got a contract. I've never chatted with Raphael before, so I don't know about this one, but I hope it did.
And even if it didn't, that's hot. That's close enough to that kind of, 40% number that he might come back and give it another shot. I mean, if you get that close, maybe do little couple tweaks or something and give it another run.
Yeah. But it looks great with that sunset and the bill of the pelican matching and the blue under visor with the orangey sunsetty color um visor. It just jumped out at me and said, "Buy me."
I guess the one thing that I would say is I almost wish that the color of the sky were a different color than the orange of the beak. Like if it were a pink color for either a sunrise or a sunset, I think it would personally grab me a little bit more. And so if Raphael, by any chance, happens to watch this show, like I'd love to see that with a pink sky and throw that back on the crits. And, maybe it would read a little bit like early morning or dusk at the beach. Any comments, Matt, Glenn, Jesse?
I agree. It's a beautiful hat. It's a nice design.
Yeah,
Pelican.
Raphael knows what he's doing for sure.
I bet Adam would like. That's a lighthouse in there. I bet Adam would like it.
Yep, Adam would be all about the lighthouse.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
Adam would be like, the lighthouse needs to be more prominent.
Make the bird smaller, make the lighthouse bigger.
All right, now we go to the scary slide. So a lot of darkness and terror on this slide. So awesome, Matt. You liked Inferno. Tell us what speaks to you about this design?
Well, Milos, has been great with that color palette lately. Been killing it. But for some reason, this one in particular gives me such Mad Max vibes. Especially like the most recent two movies in that universe, the Tom Hardy one and then the Furiosa. It just invokes that for me for some reason. But I just really like the red glow against the dark of the scarab. I thought it really illustrated how like reflective and shifty the scales are of I guess it would be a scale of an insect like that. But yeah, I just thought the color was really well done. And still that kind of like Mad Maxy apocalyptic, fire and brimstone type of feel was pretty cool.
You can certainly see that it's the same color palette as the Lava Shark. I mean, it's almost the same 6 colors, 7 colors. I don't know, but it certainly feels that way to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definite similar feel.
And then I don't know, Glenn, did you reach out to Josh? Did he get a contract for Cthulhu?
Contract accepted. Yes.
Ooh, right.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Stoked about that one.
Got a lot of little tiny details.
Yes, it does.
I wonder if there will be eye reduction. It's a
Fair
lot.
question.
I hope he gets to keep the name, but we know how that might go.
Is there like a game or something that seems to reference, or?
Well, there's a Metallica song. That's
Oh, okay. I did
the
not.
Call of
Yeah.
Cthulhu. Yeah.
That'll have to change, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, maybe not. But no, I thought it was well done too.
Yeah, I love this one. It's no secret I'm a huge Josh Voles fanboy. And this is no shade or no hate towards any other artist, but this is the best Cthulhu hat we've gotten, in my opinion, honestly. And as a Metallica lover as well, you gotta love this hat. It's freaking badass for lack of a better term.
So there was a Cthulhu hat that came out that had lime green in it, and I actually bought that hat, but I just don't wear lime green, and so I put it on eBay and somebody bought it. So,
See,
because
I wish you wore 8.
well, it's gone now. But yeah, there's two, like, a lot of purple. I used to never ever wear purple, and lime green is just not a color that I wear. And so I was like, I just don't ever wear it. So I might as well sell it and buy a different clink that I like. So, but now I kind of regret it because I still think the design of that other Cthulhu was very well done. It's just not one of my favorite colors. So,
Just need to get a hockey jersey with some lime green on it.
I love the Seattle Kraken jersey, but again, the Dallas Stars when they wear that like phosphorescent green. I almost like it because it's so outrageous, but it's not a color I'm gonna walk in there and be like, today's the phosphorescent green kind of day. Like, it's great if I'm gonna like work on a roadside crew and I don't want someone to run me over, but
I feel you. My school colors on my alma mater are black and yellow, so I have two choices. I can either go all black or really bright yellow. Most of the time, it's all black.
all right, well, let's see what else we got. Matt and Glenn again. Unfortunately, neither one of these voted particularly well. So we have the New Clink Kid, which is a kind of 8-bit style, 80s video game style. And we've got Crimson Kong, which is neither Crimson nor alive by the looks of it. So Matt, what'd you like about the 8-bit Kong?
I like Bueno's Biscuits designs. He's been turning out some good ones, but I really like the retro feel of this one. It's almost like if you took 8-bit Kong and like zoomed out. And it brings back like playing Paperboy or Excite Bike or one of those like super Sega Genesis or Super Sega or SNES games. And I feel like it would be, we could make like a 2D scroller out of this Kong character and have a fun game. I just thought it was fun. And I think, again, it's got potential for fresh colorways, too.
Charlie.
All right, Glenn, that's a little keep it PG-13 here.
Ugh.
All right, what about the here? I mean, I know you and Josh are like this. What is it about this design in particular?
This is basically a Kong version of the punk band The Misfits logo.
I am amazed it did not do better because it is like very, like I feel like that would be something that resonated with the Clink community.
Me too. It's freaking so well done too. Like, even if you're like not a big Misfits fan, like you should be able to recognize that from their logo, like a riff on their logo, with the skeleton face and everything. I mean, he just killed it on this one. But yeah, that was heartbreaking. It didn't do very good. I like it was like jaw dropping when I first saw it on Instagram. I was like, no freaking way. And I love punk music. I'm a big punk fan, big metal fan. And that's just good classic punk music. Metallica even did a cover of their song, like one of their biggest songs. They're just loved throughout like multiple genres of music, liked and revered. And he just killed it on this one, but this one got killed.
You think it would have been too on the nose if he called it Misfit Kong?
I mean, it's either you know or you don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I think the details are really well done. I think he, executed his vision spot on, and I am surprised that as a Kong, it did not get more of a reception.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was hoping was gonna sell it, was that it is a Kong, you know?
Well, especially because we have such a strong, like, there's a big thing for X-ray in our community and skulls, and like
Right, right.
whether if you have one skull hat, you're probably gonna get another one for most people, and and
I
if you
would
have
have
a
ordered this one.
yeah,
I voted yes for this. I would have gotten it because
Really?
yeah, like this would have been great to wear to. I go to show. I just go. Like I just go, and I'll go to shows where I don't belong, and I'll just go, and I would go to. I would go, and I would wear that for
This
sure.
is when Jesse switches out of the girly hat into the like punk hat.
You just never know what I could end up at Guar. I have ended up at Guar.
Yes.
I've been at metal shows, and man, you never know what kind of people you're going to run into and meet at a metal show. It's an interesting place to go.
But the metal community is so cool though. They're like it's like the hardest music, but it's like the nicest freaking people in the metal community. It's crazy.
absolutely, I agree
It wasn't your
100%.
cocaine at a show.
They might
So-
scare you on the outside, but usually on the inside, they're very nice people.
Super kind, super accepting of everyone. Just a great community.
And just for the record, I said no, thank you, but it was a first for me.
Well,
I want
okay,
to
this
go
might
hang out with Metal Jesse.
this might anger some people, but when I first saw it, I actually my brain went to Insane Clown Posse.
That's different.
Yes,
That's a different thing.
it's a different thing. So like I did not realize that I did not see it as a
Ah.
punk reference.
Ed Hull with the knowledge. Misfits logo is called the Crimson Ghost, which I did not know.
So it is a direct allusion.
If you know, you know, and I don't know, but I mean, I know their music a little bit. It's fun.
Watch now, Matt. Now that you said Insane Clown Posse, we're gonna get a Juggalo Kong at some
Yeah.
point. Someone's gonna put one out there.
It's inevitable.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Ed, thanks for dropping that knowledge. Again, I'm maybe a little bit older, but when I heard Crimson music, I'm thinking King Crimson. That's what came to my mind, and I'm like, there's no Crimson on this artwork. Why is it called Crimson? But now I know. All right, let's take a look at the next one, and we've got. Oh, I see Jesse's going for the swap. We've got Bulls on Parade, which I told Flanagan that Glenn was 100% in his corner on this hat, and I also like this hat, and I did vote for it, and it pulled. Well, that's a typo. I think it pulled like 42%. No, that's totally wrong. It was in the 30s because 47% was the win hat that I did not care for. But so Glenn, what about this? Were you in marching band? What grabbed you about this design?
No, I'm a huge Rage Against the Machine fan. Always have been.
Oh, okay.
Always will be. 10% people voted for colorway change, but that's the icing on the cake. Is it's Evil Empire yellow. If you don't know, Bulls on Parade was their first single off their second album, which their second album's Evil Empire, which is the color of the crown. But yeah, I've been trying to get this one into crits or been looking forward to it for like a year now. I even highlighted the Clink Room on two of his posts, trying to get him to throw it into the crits. It did not get a contract. I was heartbroken. It stayed at like, I think 33 or 34. It hovered around there.
That's another one with that musical reference. Like, it surprises me that it didn't resonate more with the Clink.
Yeah, I talked to Zach too, and I said I was kind of surprised it didn't make it, because I mean, Rage Against the Machine has a huge fan base, and I said it also kind of has like an old school Clink feel to it to me. Like, it looks like it would be a Clink hat, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I hope maybe they'll try another colorway and try it again.
Well, I
It's
will
got
say
a
that this was a week with a lot of hats that did pretty well. We had a lot of hats like in the mid 30s, and it may, if it had dropped in a different week, maybe would have done a little bit better. I don't know.
this definitely
Yeah.
has like a minor league feel to it. I think they could really, really like zhuzh this up and make it pop off the crown. But yeah, it was a great design on a standalone. Like, I would have liked to see it go through.
And one of the things I like about it is we've just never gotten a hat that looked like this before. So I like Clinks on new things. So I didn't play in marching band, but I did play the trumpet, and so there's a little bit of like high school band callback for me personal. There's a little nostalgia there, even though I didn't do marching band. Just playing in the band was a lot of fun. It was something that I enjoyed as a nerdy high school kid, hanging out with the band kids. So I definitely voted for this. So. And then Rage Bait was a double matte hat. So both mats on this panel approved. Matt W., what'd you like about this one?
Again, it's another one from an artist that I'm not familiar with. So I like seeing first time stuff come through. I thought the animation style was a little different than what we've seen, but I definitely think those colors would absolutely pop. And you could get like, they could throw some metallic in there to really look like a lure like that. And it could just, that could become a whole series on its own, because anybody that fishes knows that there's, a ton of lure options, and that's always the biggest debate of what's best, so that could become a crazy series of some sort. If it popped off and got popular. But yeah, I just thought it was a neat concept, and I don't recall seeing. I mean, I know we've had a couple fishing designs that have made it even recently, but I don't recall seeing anything that was specifically based on the art of the lure.
And that's one reason why I voted for this as well. It's something we hadn't seen before, and the other, and it has great color, which is something I look for in a hat. And the third reason I voted for this is that I live 12 minutes from the Gwinnett Stripers minor league baseball team, and I could totally see myself wearing this to a Stripers game, and everybody else is wearing the Bass Fish hat, and then they'd be like, "Dude, where'd you get that?" And I'd be like, "Clink Room, yeah." So I just thought this would go so well, and I plan on getting like a little 5-game pack next season for minor league baseball. I had a great time going to see the Stripers, and I could totally see myself wearing that, next summer, sitting there at a baseball game. So yeah, I wish this had done a little better in the boating, but maybe he'll give it some tweaks and bring it back. It's the kind of thing too, where if you've ever watched one of those like underwater videos where they show like the lure and like, here comes the fish, like it just made me feel like I had watched a video clip of something like that. So it excited me. Glenn, Jesse, any feedback?
Not a fisher, but it's great colors and it's great art, and it's nice to see new designers. So
It's a
hopefully
great
they'll keep designing.
It's a great pun. I didn't send this one to you to discuss tonight, but I did make a comment on it on my crits comment. I said that I liked Rage Bait and it's super fun. which it is. And like you said, like both of you said, it's not something we see like really at all. And it can appeal to numerous different consumers as well. Like Matt said, if you know the minor league team, and you got the people that just like the word puns, you got the people that love fishing. So I feel like yeah, you could do different things with it and come back with a 2.0 to try it out again. Definitely.
All right. Okay. Again, another double Matt hat. I hope this got a contract. New artist, I believe. I don't know if this artist is. He submitted a couple of things. I looked at his Instagram. I don't know that anything has gone to the shop. Midwesterner, grew up with snow. The idea of the beaver like sledding down on his tail is just hilarious to me. So I would get this if it shows up in the shop. It'll be a pre-order for me. What'd you like about it, Matt W?
It reminded me, for some reason my brain immediately went to and this is a throwback, Lady and the Tramp.
Oh, okay.
There's a scene with a beaver, and he's got a like a whistle lisp.
Yeah.
And yeah, exactly. It's like, listen here, Sonny. Talking to the
That's
dog.
almost perfect.
Yeah. And he just looks so happy, right? And yeah, I can't recall another design of this particular theme with like a beaver and playing in the snow. But yeah, I just thought it was a great winter hat. He looks so happy. Like it's just it translates the joy of playing in the snow, right? I thought it was a good time.
That's
Yeah.
how they got the muzzle off the tramp's face was the beaver.
Yep. And he used it to pull the log into the water. Yep.
Yeah, that's how he sold it to him.
I don't think it. Like, it's been 40 years since I saw that movie, but good callback.
I got a little bit of random useless Disney knowledge in my brain.
Hey,
Just
there's a
like
lot.
this much.
Disney catalog is huge, so you know. All right,
Yeah.
and then the hat that I assume will get a contract, that was the leading vote getter at one point. It was up to 50%, which was Cursed. To me, there's not much here. The only thing I'll say is that it is creative that the hair is also octopus tentacles, so that's at least something new. But I am very over skulls and skeletons personally, so not one that I would be interested in. So. Any last comments? And we'll go to, I think we've got mail call. All right. Who wants to go first?
I nominate Jesse.
I'm trying to think if I've gotten anything this week. We're heading into the last week of the semester, so I'm like grading, and then yeah, I don't think I've gotten anything in this week, so I think I'm yeah.
Well, you think about it. If you think of something, we'll
Uninteresting.
come back.
I've got stuff on the way, but as of yet, I'm uninteresting this week.
All right. Well, I'll go because I've actually had a huge mail. I definitely bought a bunch of stuff on Black Friday, and unfortunately, 2 of the 3 days my husband answered the door when the mailman came, so all my secrets are out. Anyways, I'm actually going to show a couple non-clink stuff, but things that I think kind of might be of interest to people who are more into custom hats. So these are more. Oh, that's the wrong. Let's do this again. And the reason that I think these might be of interest to folks is just that they have interesting colors. So this is a pirate's hat, but it's like paint drip melted pirates. I'm thinking of Raiders of the Lost Ark when the guy opens the Ark of the Covenant and his face melts off. And so it's kind of like a neon color. So if you like, some of the neon hats that we've seen from Clink, I just thought this was really cool. And the back is also like neon pirates. That one was a purchase because I love the colors. And then the Iron Pigs this year brought out a hot tamale inspired, the candy hot tamales inspired version of their Iron Pigs, and this
Oh,
sold
that's cool.
out in the first day. And I messaged them, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll get some more in eventually." It went a lot faster than they expected. And here's the little side hit. There's the little tamales,
That's
and
fun.
but
What
this
color
was
is that?
my
What color
fit.
is that brim? Sorry.
It's burgundy,
Okay.
maroon. So bright red, burgundy maroon, and like the flaming. And so this is actually a version of it. This is actually very similar to the minor league version, but this was from My Fit in New Jersey, and I really really liked it. And waited till Black Friday, and then they had I think they were all their hats were like 40% off, or buy one get one free. This one literally came today, and again, it's not a clink, but for our animal lovers, it's the New Mexico Lobos.
Oh,
Ooh,
that's cool.
Oh,
wow.
and it's metallic gold and kind of brown, and it's got this scary looking, and boy, it really looks good in the light.
I
There's a
like
little
the
side,
negative space they use too. That's cool.
and then one of the things I like about the very back is it just says New Mexico in script. Oh, my camera, I did not flip my camera. Mirror camera. All right, now it says New Mexico. So again, metallics, color, animals, if you like this kind of stuff. And this is a minor league one that came. The Eugene Emeralds have a like a tree monster logo, and this tree monster is kind of, I don't know if it's swinging a Christmas tree or if it's using a Christmas tree as a bat, but absolutely thought this was a fun, dynamic pose. And I'm not a huge camo person, but like the tree monster on a camo, green camo hat kind of just makes a certain amount of sense. And so that was really fun to get. And what else? We got two more minor leagues, and these are from Matt's state growing up in, and this is from Texas, minor league Texas, and this is the River Rafters. And I would say this has a real clink vibe to it. You got the guy, and he's like riding in a cooler chest down the river, and he's using a baseball bat, I guess, to kind of steer, or maybe that's a paddle. That's probably supposed to be a paddle, but
It reminds me of Gone Fishing, the clink.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's just fun. I think this is Amarillo. No, Tulsa. It's Tulsa. Sorry, a little bit further north in Texas. I was wrong. But I think this one is from Texas, and so this was the this is an older version. This is the Bearded Men, and I got this from another collector who was cutting back on some of his collection.
What a name.
Yeah, the bearded guys is, and that's definitely Texas. You got the Texas flag attached to the bat. It's just fun. I'm into beards, so that's a thing for me personally. But and then last but not least, and this is, I'm just showing it just for color. This is from the same collector who's clearing out some stuff. This one's called Watercolor, and I hate the bears, but the watercolor version of
Oh,
this,
that's isn't that from that's that whole promotion about, oh, they do like these beautiful rainbow colored hats every year. It's about cancer screening. It's part of the
is it?
yes, what do
Okay.
they call, my brain is like clean collection. That's a different thing. Crucial catch.
Crucial
There it is.
catch.
That's
It is.
Yeah.
Intercept cancer.
different clinical
But it just
application.
looks like somebody just put watercolor all over a white hat. I think it's just absolutely gorgeous. And so again, the reason I hate the Bears as a Lions fan, but I absolutely love the color. So that's my mega. I got a whole bunch of stuff in recently, so that's some of it. Who wants to go show off some inbox?
Glenn, do you have anything?
Oh, I do. You can go first though.
Oh, okay. I only have a couple. So I'm a big Neon fan, and I finally tracked this one down.
Ooh,
So got me a Neon Rocket Pops from somebody
Right
who was
on.
cleaning out their collection. I refuse to let myself go after the rest of the Rocket Pop group because I would turn into a completionist and try to get every single one of them, and I don't have the space for that. So
You
I'm
got to
not
leave
gonna
room
let myself
for
do
other
that.
clinks. You got a room for your next clinks, right?
Yeah, yeah. And then another one I've been chasing since it came out and I missed it is the OG clinker. Just got this one in. I had the brown one. I ordered the brown one on pre-order or fresh colorway, whatever it was, and wasn't as fond of it as I was the blue one. But I did get the purple one too. Love the purple one, but this one, the OG, I was super happy to find. And somebody did a trade for me when I was running my vet bill sale. They offered to trade this for one of the ones I had in hand, so was down for that. Uh, Last one I got from the shop recently was this one. I just love the colors, and it was a great like fall hat. Um, just love the pseudo native design there too. And then this one is not a clink. It's not a custom or even a fitted. Well, I guess it's a custom, but this one just means a lot to me personally, and I just acquired it the other day. Um, so I lost my grandpa in 2023, and he was a career sheriff. He was sheriff of our home county for 30 years. And in his house that they are, liquidating all of his stuff and, clearing everything out, I found 3 new old stock hats from the year he got elected sheriff, which was before I was born.
Wow.
So, yeah, I was able to add one of these to my collection. So it'll probably never get worn, but for me personally, it meant a lot. So that was a cool one to just recently add to my little stash.
And
But
because I deal with county level data, I know where Grayson County is in Texas.
Oh wow, yeah. Well, that's where I'm from.
It's kind of northwest of the Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex, right? Is that correct, Grayson?
Yeah, about an hour north of Dallas. It was a little town at one time, but now Texas Instruments Calculators has come in and they've taken over half the county pretty much. They're making microchips.
Where I live in Gwinnett, when I moved here in 1996, I used to get off from the freeway to play at the ice rink. And when you got off, there was a gas station, a Waffle House, and a McDonald's. And now it's like strip malls and housing. Like it's thickly settled compared to when I moved here 29 years ago. So yeah, that's what happens. Urban sprawl.
Yeah.
What you got, Glenn?
All right, first those ones that we were talking about earlier that are on the VIP dead stock tonight. That is revealed. Let me get some of the cat hair off there. Yeah.
That's a nice one.
Very cool. If you wanted to see what that one looks like, nice brim, nice UV to match the alien. And
gives me a alien Invasion of the Body Snatchers vibe.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then the one we were talking about, Fearless. Purple under. And I was trying to illustrate like what Matt was saying the last time I showed it. Like you can put your finger in the dog's mouth, like it's deep.
And it cuts you if you're not careful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta watch that.
Very thick. And then the back kit matches the outline of the dogs.
Oh.
Yeah, the back kit matches like their outline and their tongues.
That's clever.
I saw somebody didn't like that because it didn't match the UV, but I liked it because it was a little different. It doesn't match the UV, so it's, but it still matches the hat itself, the logo.
I like the juxtaposition of the 2 different colors. I think it goes well.
Yeah, super cool. Let's see. All right, so I took big advantage of the buy 2 get 1 free. And this is my first shipment. I've been eyeballing this one for a long time, so I finally pulled the trigger on it. Old Fire.
That was
Um,
on my bubble list.
Sierra,
Yeah.
very cool.
I love
Yeah, I've
I
been
love
eyeballing that one for a long time. I thought I better do it before it sell out on this sale.
I love how it echoes like the Maya glyphs.
Yeah. Next, this is another one that I hadn't pulled the trigger on yet, and I wasn't sure about it. But then when I got it, I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so glad I got it." And this is another one of those that it you just can't convey how cool it is till you see it in person. Like it's got some metallic on here right here. All this gold right here is all metallic. The underside of his little sombrero. It looks really good. And then where it says you can barely see it, but it says fuego right there, which is fire in Spanish if you don't know. Um, but it looks great. I was so pleased um with how it looks in hand. The back hit is metallic.
For my money, the Alec fresh colorway was the best use of color of any fresh colorway that Clink's ever made. I bought 4 of the 6 hats.
I've bought 3 of them, and I'm thinking about going back and getting at least another one, maybe 2. Next, I pulled the trigger on this one. I've been eyeballing for a while.
That's a
Yeti
good
Kong.
pull. That's a good
Yeah.
I
pull.
can't like I've looked at this multiple times, but every time I look at it, it looks like he's got little hands up by his head and he's holding little stabby knives. I know they're axes, but I'm like, he's got tiny feet and little hands. Every time I see it, I see the wrong thing, and I hope I'm not being disrespectful, but every time I'm like, oh, he's got knives.
You see
I
those as tiny feet? That's funny.
Little tiny feet.
I saw a member of the buy sell trade post this, and he was wearing a flannel that matched it, and that's what finally sold me. Like actually seeing somebody wear it, it looked really good, so I was like, I better get that one. I'll regret it. This one I was shocked that there was still my size available, given how long it's been around and how big of a seller it was.
I
Oh
love
yeah.
that.
Oh.
I could not believe that it was still available. So I had to grab that one too. Um, Great July hat. Going back to the Alex series, Big Red. I am a big fan of hot sauce. I always have at least 3 to 5 different types of hot sauces in my house at all times. And Alec, I'm gonna buy some of your hot sauce. I just haven't gotten around to it, but I'm definitely ordering the sampler pack. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. I'm definitely getting it. But this one's another one that like once I got it, I was like, oh, that is so sweet. It's got a lot of good metallics in it, and it just doesn't look as good until you see it in person. And
It looks like it pops way better than it looked like on the website.
it really does.
Question, is that both red and orange on the logo?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, the little sickle things are have metallic red and metallic silver, and then like I guess the fire stuff around it, the fire smoke is red and the reaper is orange. And the little handles of the scythes are orange. And last but not least, I wore this one Saturday morning. Saturday morning pals. I love the toasted peanut and vice blue together. That's
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
such a great color combo. And then I also love the white Kong back hit for like the milky color for the little milk guy, the little cereal bowl guy.
Spilt milk.
Yeah, that one's fun. And that is it for my mail call.
Turns out I lied.
Ah,
This is a week that's felt like a month. But I got the Chewbacca Yeti guy. I need to get a Porg pin. I don't have one yet, but and then I have some. I got a penguin hat. I'm getting ready for New Year's with this one, but
nice.
it's got holographic thread, which definitely is not showing up on the camera, but it's super sparkly. It is bling-tastic. And then
Awesome.
I got this adorable little Toronto Blue Jays baby. So stupid cute.
Oh,
That whole series was adorable, but that was the only one that I got out of the series because they had all these little baby mascots. So cute.
Yeah, I liked the Rangers wanted that too.
Yeah, a friend of mine was super excited about the mascots, and the only one that kind of grabbed me, I like the Bruins baby bear. The Seattle one was a little disturbing. I don't know, like I was like I don't know about this like baby squid thing. Anyway, so as much as I am a sucker for hockey hats, I did not buy any of those. So,
You know what they somebody somewhere needs to make happen is like you know how there's little fuzzy gray baby penguins, adorable, very cute, and then there's like the teenager ones that are like brown and fuzz, and they may be, I don't know my penguin species at all. I think they may be different species, but they're like these, they're like adolescent penguins, and they're like fuzzy and brown, and they're like poof, and they're the same size as adults, but like they're all foofed out and brown, and I really would love to see one of those
okay.
as a hat. Somebody somewhere needs to do that. I don't know if the Wilkes-Barre Penguins should do that as like some fun little theme night, or if someone in the clink room is like, wow, Jesse has great ideas. I'm going to make that happen.
The
Somebody to
the
make,
Rome, Georgia Emperor penguins could.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, you need it's like an angsty teenage penguin. That's what
Yes.
you
yeah.
need. Yeah.
You could make him like an emo penguin.
Little penguin mohawk,
Right.
you know.
They just
Hell
always
yeah.
look so confused when they're standing around with their parents. There's definitely like, I do know that they are at an adolescent stage developmentally. That's about all I know about penguins, but yeah. Oh
I'm
God.
I'm sorry I missed this comment a while back, but the Juggalos had already, apparently they've already shown up in the chat. So
That's funny.
We accidentally summoned them. Oh well.
what have we done? What have we done? A little bit of news to some other custom hat manufacturers. So Danny Dionic is kind of like old school. He's like one of these hat makers that's been out there, and he's now releasing hats through Uprock Shop. And they had a Black Friday blackout. They took two of his classic designs, the Black Sheep and the in this case the albino alligator. And I have to admit, I was looking at that albino alligator. I did not pull the trigger, but it definitely got my eye because I am a huge Dionic fan, and I don't have any of his alligator hats in my collection. And I was like, but did not pull the trigger this time. Maybe if there's a future sale, I could see that getting clicked into my cart. And the Thunderdome hats is clearing out. I'm assuming this is still going on. They had hats for $10. I personally own the Pink Pussy Salt and the one on the over there on the blue, which is I'm spacing on the name of it. And I was actually tempted to get the red one. It's called Electric Bills. So it's got a stack of bills that are being electrocuted in an electric chair. And yeah.
Wasn't that one like Pinball Wizard or something?
That's it, Pinball Wizard. Which if you look, it's very detailed. If you look in it, it's like this guy's like kind of crouched over, and I guess he's playing a pinball game. So, I don't want to start any rumors, but I kind of got the vibe that maybe Eric the Saint's getting out of the hat business because it looks like he's like clearing out of stock. So if you want a $10 hat, go check it out. And the middle one there is co-designed by Rusty Beats, who has been involved with Seamus and some other folks in making Clink hats. So there's some other custom hats that are out there. Let's take a quick run through. There's not a lot to comment about the crits to shop changes. These are very minute changes. So if we look at, unfortunately, Adam's not here with us, and he said that there was a little bit of a change, but man, when I compare these side by side, I don't see much that looks different.
Definitely the button.
Oh, the
Yeah.
button's different.
What do you think about that? I kind of like the button echoing the under visor personally, but
Yeah, I think I do too.
I guess by making the top all black, it keeps your eye directed at what's on the front logo instead of being maybe drawn up to
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see too much either, but he was saying that that's also like a credit to the artist, that not much had to be changed or needed to be changed, or Casey felt like it needed to be, you know what I mean? So like if you don't get any changes or barely any changes, like that's kind of like bragging rights. Like my hat didn't get changed, that's kind of badass. Because I mean, some of them get completely redrawn and it doesn't even barely look the same. So if Casey sees fit like this is a go, then that's saying something.
Yeah, I think they've been fortunate with the series of those bears, that they've been relatively consistent to what they were submitted as. But I mean, yeah, absolutely, is a testament to Milos and Adam's work on those.
And maybe there's a common thread here, because I don't see any changes in this Milos hat either. To me, they look identical.
Yeah,
The
see any difference.
Crits version, I think this is going to stitch fantastic, and I'm kind of afraid if I don't pre-order it when it ships and people hold it up, and I'm going to be like, oh, I should have got that one. But
Yeah,
'Cause
because that's gonna pop big time.
I think this is going to be one of those 3D hats where those colors are going to be like 1/4 of an inch to 1/8 of an inch thick on the surface.
If the purple comes off anything like this, where it's got the depth even within the same color,
Oh,
I think it's going to be, because I mean this is thick off the crown here. So I think if the purple on that Lurking Kong comes off anything like that, it's going to be fantastic.
And that's probably why Casey was like, yep, print it. Looks good.
Yeah.
And again, the only change I really see here is it looks to me like maybe the crown changed a hair in the
and the
shade.
UV looks like it's gone from a gold to a olive color, which I think is a minor change.
Maybe a gray.
I think it's gray. I think it's the same
Yeah,
as the
it's
fly.
gray.
Yeah.
It's gray
match
because
the
I was
fly.
commenting. I'm sorry, Jesse. What were you saying?
I was just saying, like, it matches the fly.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
Feathers different, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit. Maybe the direction.
Maybe.
The back leg was made thicker. In fact, both legs were made thicker.
And shorter.
Mm-hmm.
And the under brim of the hat is now purple, a different shade of purple. And it was black.
The brim's bigger too on the hat. The hat overall is bigger.
Yep.
And the wings are bigger. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, all good changes. I think it's going to enhance the design even more. But yeah, I think that yellow would have been a cool UV for that one. It would have made it pop.
That's what I was saying, is like, this hat's called Superfly. Why put a boring UV on it when it's a pimptastic Superfly hat?
Glenn wants leopard skin as the undervisor.
Now
Okay,
you're
that would
going
be
too
fun.
far with that.
That would be hilarious.
I would rock that. If they did a leopard UV, I would do it.
The other thing that this hat makes me want to see is you see the detail in the wings. I was going through and looking at some stuff. I would like to see someone do a dragonfly where the wings have all these different colors in the little segments of the wings. Oh,
A stained glass dragonfly.
stained glass.
Ooh.
Ooh. Oh,
Write
we
that.
should-
Write that down.
we need to
You're welcome.
All right, and the outline color is brightened up a little bit. That's all I really notice. Any thought?
Jacket's green versus blue.
That's true. Good point.
UV is tan versus stone.
Did it go from navy to black also, or is it still navy? It might still be
I
navy.
think it looks black to me. And oh yeah, I think it's black. Maybe
Okay.
we've got a bigger white spot. I don't know if that's meant to be the eye or an accent around the eye. Can't tell.
This one was definitely improved on the shop version, but it's still not one for me. So
Oh, is that meant to be a magpie?
I think so.
So yeah, then I think we've changed species from a crow to a magpie.
See, this is probably one where I'm not a good evaluator because I'm like, oh, look, it's another Reaper. Next. Good points, everybody. And then obviously the crown color has changed. The UV is changed. Looks like the line work is mostly the same. The grill and the face mask went from being that kind of mauve magenta color to a darker shade.
yeah, they took some details out to make it better.
Like the back of the burgundy sort of wrap, it's going to stitch better now that it's no longer burgundy and light blue mixed in.
Yeah, the sword is different. But yeah, they were basically simplifying it to make it stitch a little better.
The angle of
'Cause-
the claw is pointing in one and out in the other.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, more like. Yeah. Yeah.
grasping.
hmm
So Casey redrew that.
I'm curious to see how that one's going to come out. I really am. I mean, we know Wynn's work is well done, and generally embroiders really well. So curious to see how it comes out.
I would have liked the knight helmet with the red in it more so than the other one, the new one, the shop one.
I'm wondering how clearly you're going to see the dragon in the background against that.
Yeah.
grill. That's the
Yeah.
only thing I kind of wonder, but it might stitch well. Who knows? And then there was no comparison. I went back and looked through Ephra's IG. I didn't find any work in progress, anything. He doesn't really post a lot of stuff like that, but it looks great to me. It looks like a fun hat, but nothing to compare. And closing this week, we have the tennis ball, the great Hambino, the flaming crest, and the desert with the brim that I want because the brim is amazing. I actually want like the brim more than the logo. And then the diss track by Milos, and then the win. So those are closing on Sunday. So you got a couple days to make your decisions if you're going to get these. I noticed that the Hambino was right towards the very bottom of the pre-sale. So I don't know, maybe that'll perk up people. Maybe somebody's sitting on the fence waiting to see. Be curious to see if that climbs up at all during the week. But those are the ones wrapping up. All right. And thanks everybody. We are like right at 2 hours. We had a good time visiting with Matt, and if you're we got 3 viewers. Thanks for tuning in, viewers. And I think one of our commenter in the chat was somebody new, at least somebody I didn't remember seeing. Actually, 2 people. I don't remember the Violent J Southwestern Gangsta. I don't know if that person's chatted before or not. And
It's funny because you brought up the Juggalos. Violent J is one of the
is that
One of the
One-
juggalos. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
he's-
the,
he's-
yeah, the ICP.
yeah, he's one of the ICP guys.
and then
So it's so random that we somehow sneak that in, and we have a viewer with the Violent J name.
they might have changed their user handle just for that special occasion. So maybe it's a regular person that they were like, they were going to have some fun with this. And then the Sean, I don't know if Sean's ever tuned in before, but thanks for coming by, Sean. And
Thanks for the compliment too.
well, again, we want to thank Matt for joining us, and tune in next week. We'll be back at the same bat time, same bat channel. We'll be talking about Clink hats and cool new designs. If I remember correctly, Clink usually takes the week off between Christmas and New Year's, so we will have a pause coming up where we won't have any new hats to talk about. In our chat, I was kicking around the idea of maybe doing like a best of 2025 kind of thing. I know some people might be traveling for the holiday one. I know Jesse's got some Penguins games to go see, so she's going to be on the road. I'm staying here staying home this year for the holidays. So, maybe I'll just do my own, like maybe do a one-off show where I just do my own personal, like opinions about stuff, trying to entertain whoever tunes in. But thanks for dropping by, everybody. And thanks again to Matt. And
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. It's been a blast. Really, really appreciated it, and it's been great to go from being a viewer to participating.
Hell yeah. We're happy to have you, bro.
I'd love to come back anytime.
all right. Well, sometimes we get stuff where, like, poor Adam today had to drop out. So things do shake loose sometimes. And so we'll see. All right. Good night, everybody.